Welcome back to South Paul Diecast. I'm Scott. Well, it's the month of May, and we all know what's in the month of May. The Indianapolis 500, my favorite time of the year, as well as my birthday. So I went to Walmart and I came across this casting. It's a 1969 Camaro convertible. Two things came to mind right away when I saw this. I'm not going to say what the one is because that'll be for later. But the second thing I thought of was Indianapolis 500 pace car. And a specific one at that. In 1969, Mario Andretti won the Indianapolis 500. That year, the pace car was the 1969 Camaro. So, being how it's the month of May and I have a love for the 500, we're going to take this and we're going to make this into a red line Indianapolis 500 1969 pace car. And I think I'm going to have a lot of fun doing this. And also this month, I'm a guest horseman on the Four Horsemen, which is an IndyCar build. So this is going to fit in right with that theme. So let's get started. Okay, so we got the car apart. I got the post drilled out, tapped, and ready to go. Everything's brand new, so the interior. And we're going to do a wheel swap. We're going to get this in the citrus strip, aka orange toxic goo. And we'll go from there. Okay, it's that time again to get this car paint stripped off. There she goes. Down she goes. And we're going to let this simmer for a bit and come back and see how well the casting is underneath all that paint. I'm sure it's pretty good. I mean, it's brand new. But you know me, I'm going to use my buffing wheel and prep it all up for the paint. So on to the next step. Okay, so I got the body out of the citrus strip, aka orange toxic goo. And I'm going to go over it again with my Scotch-Brite wheel on my Dremel, getting all the little imperfections and kind of polishing up the metal, which also helps the primer to stick too. So I'm not going to show you the whole thing like always. And I'm just going to go over it. I'm doing the one side here of the body. And then I'll do the top and the other side. But like I said, I just think it's a game changer. And I have noticed some other builders that are starting to use this idea as well. Doing a little extra work there on the front of the grill because of all the little nooks and crannies. Have to kind of go over it and press a little harder. So let's move on. Okay, so now that I've done the Scotch-Brite, you can really tell a difference. There's a piece that hasn't been done, a section that hasn't been done. Now look at this. So when you're doing a Spectre Flame paint job, that's going to give you a huge head start. Now I'm not doing a Spectre Flame paint job, but to me I think it helps smooth the metal out, the casting, and it helps when you prep it with the Tamiya primer. So that's the reason why I do this. Okay, so the Tamiya fine primer has dried. Now I'm hitting it with some gloss white because on this particular pace car, the pace car was white in 69. And I'm just going through doing kind of a quick tack coat, seeing how it's going to look. And then I can go back and maybe do a little heavier coat to get that gloss finish. But then I also will, after I decal it, then I will go over it with clear coat to make it look really shiny. So far it's looking really good. Looks like I had a pretty decent job right there, so we're good to go on that for now. Okay, so now I'm going to hit the white interior with some Tamiya fine primer. It's light gray, and prepping it for the paint, which is going to be a pumpkin orange. And I'm just making sure that I'm getting all the sides evenly. Okay, so the primer has dried on the interior, so now it's time for me to hit it with some Krylon pumpkin orange for the interior. So I'm just doing some light coats because I don't want it real thick, and because I don't want it to run or have drips. So I'm just going around getting just an even light spray, and then I might have to go back over it again. Just getting all sides, making sure that it's covered nicely and that it looks good. And that should be good. Okay, so we got all the parts and pieces and everything done for the 69 Camaro pace car. Got the windshield cleaned up. Did some detailing on the interior. Got my wheels all nice and tight on the chassis. And look at this body. Look how shiny this body is. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like glass. And I'll tell you my tip to get it looking that good a little later. So let's get to the reveal and see how well I did with this one. Okay, so here's where we started with the 1969 Camaro convertible. And let's get to the reveal. Okay, here she is. The 1969 Indianapolis 500 pace car. The year that Mario Andretti won the race. And I had a blast doing this. It's so much fun. I love the Indy 500, so of course I'm going to love any build that has to do with the 500. And I had a blast doing all the details, the bumper, the interior. And now I'm going to give you a little secret on how this car came out so shiny and smooth like glass. Are you guys ready? You go over to Diecast Graveyard and you buy Paul's new 2K clear coat and hardener. That's it. That's my big secret. It does a fantastic job. This car is so shiny, it almost looks like it's still wet. I was actually scared to touch it this morning, and I sprayed it last night. So go over to Paul's Diecast Graveyard and buy you this system. Because I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to buy anything else other than his clear coat and hardener. And he gives you a good size bottle of the clear coat, and of course a smaller bottle of the hardener because you don't need as much. So let me show you. Let me move this out of the way. Here it is. There's a big bottle of that clear coat, and there's the hardener. Guys, this stuff is good. So if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe because it's always free. Coming up, I'm going to be doing the Four Horsemen, and the theme is IndyCar with a throwback vintage paint job. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you next time.